knock knocks? Get the relief you deserve with Blue Emu's Lidocare pain relief patches. Our narcotic-free, maximum strength adhesion formula with dry technology won't have you worrying about a corny knock-knock joke anymore, because pain is no joke. Find us at CVS, Walgreens, and Amazon.
Today, the nation's food, wine, restaurant, travel, and entertainment show. I'm Michael Horn, along with Eric Hines.
And Michael, on the line right now, we have Chef Gina Stipo. She's the executive chef and owner of the Italian Table in Louisville. She's going to give us some ways that we could integrate authentic Tuscan cuisine into our family's Easter traditions. Hey, Gina, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Gina, you're amazing. I was studying up about you before the show here a little bit, and found out a little bit about your background, and you have a restaurant. Right. It's in Louisville, Kentucky. Is that right?
It is. I moved here 3 years ago from Italy, and I opened this tiny restaurant a year and a half ago. It's going very well, At the Italian Table.
It's called At the Italian Table. And tell us about this. I think there's like just 2 tables in there, and it's hard to get a reservation. Right. Give us the background of the restaurant.
Right. Well, it's At the Italian Table. I have 2 Italian tables, and I have 20 chairs, and we do one seating. It's a traditional Italian trattoria. I've tried to emulate the way the Italians eat and the way you can eat when you go to Italy. It's a convivial dining experience, one seating at 7 o'clock, reservation only. It's a true Italian dining experience with multiple courses and no one trying to turn a table and chase you out of there.
So it's one
surrounded
seating.
by antiques and decor that I brought with me back from Italy, and it's really like walking into a little trattoria in Rome or Florence. People tell me they feel transported.
I'm telling you, this is really on the style of the famed Rayo's restaurant in New York. You got one seating. They're only open Monday through Friday. You're open only Wednesday through Saturday at 7 o'clock, right?
Right, and Tuesdays I do cooking classes. I had a cooking school, Ecco la Cucina, in Tuscany for years. I still take people back on food and wine tours.
So Ecco la Cucina, that means here's the kitchen, and you have like a little shop in there where you sell stuff, a little Ecco la Cucina shop inside the At the Table restaurant, at the Italian Table restaurant, right?
Actually, originally when I opened At the Italian Table, I had one Italian table in one room, and I was planning on doing retail because honestly I wanted to share this Italian way of dining with people here in Louisville, but I didn't know how well the idea would be accepted. I'll tell you, after 2 months, I had to turn that retail area into another dining room. That's why I've got 2 tables and 20 people now. It's just gone so well.
Is there only one seating, or some people leave early and someone comes in? Is there a bar area where you can come in and have a drink and look at everybody dining, or you just have to be there at 7 and it's only one time and that's it?
That's it.
That's it. So how do you get a reservation? I mean, you must be booked out way in advance.
Well, during the week, Wednesdays and Thursdays, especially now during the basketball season, holes open up and it's easier to get in. But Fridays and Saturdays do book up. People come individually to At the Italian Table. They come as couples, or they can reserve the entire table and bring a group of friends. The wonderful thing about it is that people, whether they're Italian by heritage or they've ever been to Italy, they really relate to this style of dining. It's convivial. I give people a cocktail when they first arrive there, and then they can order whatever wine they want. I find a little alcohol goes a long way to sort of, opening people to meeting new people and having wonderful conversations. And just last Saturday night, we had groups of people that had never met each other, and by the end of the meal, 2 of the people found out that they had a cousin in common.
Absolutely.
So they were family, and they didn't even know it. Fantastic.
I can't wait to get there. You were born to an Italian-American family on the East Coast, but then you traveled and you lived and you spent time in Italy. Tell us a little bit about that.
Right. Well, my dad was in the military. His parents were from southern Italy, settled in New York, and we went to Verona to live for 4 years when I was just 6. So seeing that beauty and tasting that food at such a young age really instilled a lifelong yearning to go back there. So when I became an adult, I traveled back on vacation, and then 21 years ago, actually, I quit my corporate job and I went to Italy to study food for 6 months. Went to culinary school in New York City, and in 2000 went back to visit some friends, went back to Italy to visit friends, and they offered me a job in their estate, managing their kitchen and teaching pasta lessons to their guests. And I ended up living in Italy, in Tuscany, outside the city of Siena for 13 years.
Wow.
I wasn't planning on living there for 13 years. I was planning on just doing a 10-month season.
Why Louisville? How'd you get back to Louisville?
You know, Louisville, I'm not from here. I have family that's kind of scattered, but I came, in the wintertime, I would come to market my cooking school, Ecco La Cucina, and the culinary tours that I do with my sister. And I was invited to come to Louisville, and I came every winter to do a cooking class or lecture at a university or a private dinner or something. And I just fell in love with the town. It's got a really interesting food culture. There are a lot of small, locally owned restaurants and businesses, and the people support that. It's not just a chain Midwestern town. It's got the openness of the people from the Midwest, and it's got this wonderful history of the East Coast, and it's got a long history, and there's the bourbon and the horses, and it's just a really cool town.
I gotta be there again. The restaurant's called At the Italian Table. Chef Gina Stipo is, I guess, she's the executive chef and the owner. They're located in Louisville, and I think it's at 2359 Frankfurt Avenue, and you can check this out. Now, you do authentic Tuscan cuisine. So, what is that, and how do we incorporate that into our Easter festival that's coming up here in a couple of weeks?
Well, it's I do Central Italy, Tuscany, Lazio, and Northern Italy.
Okay, all right.
So it's not just Tuscany. I don't limit myself to that, but I go north too.
Good.
Easter is a really important time in Italy. It's a religious festival. They have a saying in Italian, Natale con I tuoi e Pasqua con chi vuoi. And that means you have to spend Christmas with your family, but you can spend Easter with whoever you want.
Really? I like that saying. That's good.
Yeah. The truth is, though, that they always spend every important holiday with their family.
Of course.
They can talk about spending it with somebody else, but they're always with their family. And they do go out to dinner a lot. It's Easter lunch is the big dinner, as it is here in our country. A lot of spring vegetables. We're getting away from the winter foods, the dark greens, and the heavy dishes that we had, and we're getting into spring, so that means asparagus, artichokes, fresh fava beans, fresh peas. And those things are really just incorporated in the dishes. A lot of one of the things that I love is the wild spring greens and herbs that come up.
Yep.
They don't use pesticides on the fields that they have, and they know where these fields and all these herbs grow, and so they go out and they pick the new nettles that are coming up, and the dandelions, and agretti, which is a really wild, they call it a land seaweed. All of these things come up in the spring. There's wild asparagus in the woods. So you go out for a long walk and you pick little tiny wild asparaguses that are just so thin, like a grass blade. And it's just a time of rejuvenation, and it's just really celebrated. And the interesting thing, once I moved to Italy, I found out, I kind of realized why Easter is all about eggs, why we've got these Easter eggs. It's because the chickens don't lay a lot of eggs in the wintertime.
Wow.
And once the weather warms up and the light gets longer, the chickens start laying a lot of eggs. And people that have chickens, and that's almost everybody over in Tuscany where I was living, there are so many eggs. They're just giving them away.
It's Easter time. Chef Gina, are you on a time clock? Do you have to go to another station, or can you hang out with us?
I can hang on.
Can you hang out one more segment? Is it all right?
Yep.
All right, hang on, because I don't want to rush you here. I want to get to a few more things as long as it's okay. The website is at theitaliantable.com. Chef Gina Stipo is here with us. She's the executive chef and owner. Stay with us. For the getaway of your dreams, come to Hawaii's Playground, Ka'anapali Beach Resort, on the fun side of Maui, where the world comes to play. Find your spot on Ka'anapali Beach with 3 miles of white sand, 12 resort properties, 2 golf courses, and 2 shopping centers. Enjoy the playground of Hawaii's ancient royalty. Ka'anapali Beach Resort is Hawaii's original master planned destination resort and home of the Hawaii Food and Wine Festival. With views of 2 neighboring islands, you can breathe in the land's natural beauty from your favorite resort or golf fairway.
Come experience Kaanapali's own special brand of Hawaiian hospitality with world-class dining, relaxing resorts, water sports, and activities of every kind. For romantic, family, and great friend getaways, discover the options of Kaanapali Beach Resort, where the world comes to play. Plan your getaway today. Visit kaanapaliresort.com. That's KAANAPALI resort.com.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com, 310-873-4422.
The Bob Henry Trio. Bob Henry and the boys are going to be performing live in Louisville, Kentucky at the Italian Table. Then again, maybe not. I don't know if they could fit them in. They'd have to move a table out. Welcome back here to What's Cooking Today. I'm Michael Horn along with Eric Hines.
And Michael, we're going to continue on now with Chef Gina Stipo. She is the executive chef and owner of At the Italian Table in beautiful Louisville, Kentucky, giving us pointers on how to incorporate authentic Tuscan cuisine into our family's Easter traditions. Welcome back, Gina.
Thank you.
Chef Gina, you talked about not only you do Tuscan cuisine, but you go north to Reggio Emilia and all that good. There's good wine in that. Go Italy and all this stuff. And so you talked about something that's near and dear to my heart. I'm not Italian, but going back to my uncle's farm, we were Czechs, and they would go out in the springtime, and there'd always be somebody back in the woods in Illinois that could pick out the right mushrooms, because you had to be careful. You don't want to pick the poison ones, but they would look for these these mushrooms, and it's much the same way you're talking about searching for dandelions and stuff. They would know where to go. It's like a tradition, right?
Yes, absolutely. And in every season, there's that. There's certain mushrooms and truffles that come out in the spring.
Truffles.
And if you get enough rain. And certain ones that come out in the fall and in the winter. A lot of the flowers that grow, the red buds, and those are all edible. And, the Italians are still really connected to their roots and to what is edible. They know where to go, they know what's coming, and they just incorporate it naturally into what's on the table.
So what can we do now? You're doing your cooking school that you've got there, too, that you've got in Louisville. You and your sister do tours and everything. You're the owner of Ecco La Cucina, means here's the table. That's your cooking school. The restaurant is called At the Italian Table. That's in Louisville, Kentucky, there on Frankfort Avenue. And, of course, our guest chef, Gina Stipo, is here. So what about pastas? Are there pastas and things we can do that makes it kind of a different Easter festival?
Absolutely. We do fresh pasta at the restaurant at the Italian table every day. We're always making fresh pasta, but even the staple of southern Italy, the dried box pasta, is really important. There are a lot of different sauces and things that you can do to top pasta. Really, red sauce is only about, I would give it maybe no more than 20% of the Italian repertoire of what you put on pasta. They do a lot of seasonal vegetables, so there's artichokes can be cleaned and chopped and sautéed with garlic and lemon and parsley and great olive oil. That's a fantastic topping, or you toss it with some fresh pasta or some even just penne from the penne from the store,
right?
Dried box pasta, fresh fava beans and peas and prosciutto. That's a real classic. Peas, prosciutto, and spring onion. That's a real classic to be tossed with pasta.
Sounds delicious.
And obviously, one of the best fresh pastas I've ever had was in asparagus season up north of Venice. They grow a lot of asparagus. And I stopped in a little place and I had lunch, and it was so simple. It was fresh tagliatelle, which is the wide noodle,
right,
fresh made, egg and flour, real rich, and tossed with sliced asparagus and butter, and that was it.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
It was amazing.
That is,
and just
food,
something
yes.
something as simple as that, can make an entire dish. The other thing about Easter, though, is that whenever it's a special occasion like a holiday, the many Italians will make a ravioli. Ravioli is the starter, is like their pasta course. So it's a special, takes more time, more effort. And using all those eggs in the pasta dough, they'll stuff it with, you can stuff it with almost anything, but they'll stuff it with like a ricotta cheese, something fresh. Down south, they'll throw some mozzarella in there, and top it with a real simple red sauce. That's very classic.
What about
my
meat
grandmother
dishes?
used to do that for Easter.
What kind of, any meat dishes? What would you have on the Easter plate there?
Well, the spring is a classic lamb. It's interesting. I learned a lot about the life cycle of animals when I went over there. The sheep have given birth to their lambs, and you can't keep them all. And the sheep are going to be milked now in central Italy. They milk the sheep for pecorino cheese, and the fresh pecorino is coming back on the table, and they're putting it with the fresh fava beans, which is a spring classic that's only lasts for about a month. But the lambs, obviously show up on the Easter table, and the reason it's so plentiful is because this is the time of year where you have to decide if you're going to keep the lamb or kill it and eat it. And so there's a lot of lamb on the menu. Wonderful roasts with sage and rosemary and garlic, or just lamb chops. I've had them grilled and fried. Fried artichoke hearts along with grilled lamb chops is just one of my favorite.
What about
that
dessert?
Or fried mushrooms, fresh mushrooms.
Give me a quick dessert that we could have too, Chef Gina Stipo at the Italian table. What do you have?
Oh, well, a schiacciata from Tuscany is classic. It's whole grated oranges, yeast. It's a yeasty cake, and lots of eggs. This is just really classic.
That's great. Okay, where do we get more information? Give us a website. We got to check this out. We're coming to Louisville to check out your At the Italian Table restaurant.
Awesome. AtTheItalianTable.com is the website.
There you have it, AtTheItalianTable.com.
This is the Mungle on Movies. I'm Matt Mungle. The PG animated family adventure The Boss Baby hits theaters this week, and I spoke with director Tim McGrath about developing this story.
DreamWorks had acquired Marla Frazie's book, The Boss Baby. The studio hooked me up with Michael McCullers, who wrote the